Okay, we are going to talk about the reproduction in higher and the lower animal. Okay, so let's study about this. What is reproduction in lower and the higher animal? Okay, so as we know that key reproduction is one of the major life process of any living organisms. Why it's a major product? Because the first point that we have to understand is that it's maintain maintain continuity. That is more important point. Okay, so it maintains the continuity. That is the important point that we have to understand. Okay, so when you talk about this, so what is reproduction exactly? Let's study in a detailed manner. When you talk about, so there is a definition is already given in front of you, so let's highlight it. So reproduction, when you talk about reproduction, is the biological process of formation of new life forms from the pre-existing similar life. So what is exactly the reproduction when you talk about? So when you talk about a reproduction, what has to be comes in our mind is that reproduction ये एक ऐसी process है जिसमें it's a biological process, correct? Formation of new. So there is a formation of a new this is the formation of new things happen from the pre-existing means what? Just take example over here. How can you say a pre-existing one? Okay, so when you talk about a pre-existing one, that comes in a mind if suppose there is a amoeba like structure. When you talk about the amoeba like structure is here. Okay, this is amoebic cell which is undergo maturation and the reproduction. Further it's going to form a two amoebic cell. Okay, so it's undergo the binary fission over there. So what going to happen is that reproduction is a biological process. Why? Because it include any biological cell. So when it happens, क्या होता है वहाँ पे एक सेल से जब भी दो सेल बनते हैं या फिर मल्टीप्लिकेशन होता है, इट्स फॉर्म इज व्हाट? फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द न्यू लाइफ फॉर्म. So this is what when you talk about these cells, whichever is formed here, these are new cells. So formation of the new life forms from the pre-existing. This is one of pre-existing, this is one a new. So when you talk about this, what is production? Reproduction is that nothing but formation of the new life forms from the existing similar life. Yes, now let's study the specific characteristic of the reproduction. When you talk about the reproduction, what comes in mind? A formation of new life from the pre-existing one. That's we already done. Now reproduction is a thing which enables any living organisms to multiply or to reproduce in a limited life span. So this can I say this feature of this reproduction make it a vital process. Why it's called vital process? Because it enables the any living organisms to reproduce in a limited lifespan of that organisms. So let's study further what are the types of the reproduction. Reproduction is mainly of two types. The first part of reproduction is when it is a sexual reproduction type in which there is no gamete involved. Okay, what's the no gametes involved? That is mainly male gamete and the female gamete. So as we can say, there is no fusion as well is required. So there is no fusion in which one? In the asexual reproduction. Okay, this is the first type. Let's move with the second type. When you talk about the second type, it's a sexual reproduction. Okay, in this obviously there is a fusion of male gamete and the female gamete involved. Okay, this combination of male and the female gamete leads to formation of a zygote which further develop in a new organisms. So can we say here are in a sexual reproduction there is a combination of, or we can say fusion of, male gamete and the female gamete. After that zygote is formed and the new organisms is going to form. So as we seen here, in asexual there is no gamete formation, but in sexual there is a gamete formation is important, combination is important. So that mainly two types, mainly asexual reproduction. Okay, let's talk about here. Mainly the asexual reproduction occurs in lower animal, okay, and this sexual reproduction occurs mainly in the higher animal. Okay, so these are the two things we have to understand. And why this happening is over here, means why this is reproduction क्यों होता है, to maintain the life continuity. This is more important that we have to understand. So let's further study what are the types of asexual and what are the types of sexual. But here we're going to talk about more about the sexual reproduction.